I was 12 years of age when I first came to work here, the 16th of January, 1916. It was the war period, of course. I had a brother that worked here. He was a hardback striker at the time, and of course he knew there was a vacancy here. Work in those days, as you can imagine, were very, very scarce. There was very little work about. If you got a job, you stick to it, whether you liked it or not. When I got home one night, I told the old man I didn't think I liked the job particularly, and he said, logically, that was the time, it didn't matter whether you liked the job or not. That was your job, and you were going to put up with it. When I first came here, we worked from 7 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the evening, 6 days a week, Saturday inclusive, for 3 shillings and 9pence a week. There was about 22 people on the place. I was supposed to be going to be a scythe fitter and setter, but the job was so numerous. The only thing that you was not allowed to do was the scythe grinding. You could have nothing to do with the scythe grinding at all. The scythe grinder could bring a son and no one else. He had to be a son or he couldn't be employed there. Incidentally, of course, the scythe grinder is the only trade where the stone runs into the man. In any other grinding trade anywhere in the world, the stone runs away from the man. But to the scythe grinder it runs into him, which makes the job more dangerous, of course. The wheel was full, absolutely full, of nothing but dried dust floating about. In fact, the Sheffield University used to send students up to photograph it. It was the basic cause of silicosis, the reason why the government outlawed sandstone and put them on the carborundum. But when they swallowed all this dirt, they used to come out to me with the 6-gallon bottle, enclosing wickerwork. It was lifted into the basket. Go on, Frank. Beer, you know where to go. On the strap. Down to the Beachy Hotel, which was the nearest. And if I failed there, down to the wagon and horses at Millhouses. If I failed there, down to the millstone at Millhouses. And if I failed there, across to the Robin Hood. And if I failed there, right up Little Common Lane to Ecclesall, to the Rising Sun. And believe you me, odd times and very odd times, I didn't get any beer. And if I didn't, I used to go home because it was more than my life was worth to come down without it. But normally I would pick up perhaps 4 or 5 gallon at the various places, and that was all right for the rest of the day. It didn't always work out that way. And it was not wise to come back if you came back without beer. In short water time, summertime, very often the place would be stuck still because you hadn't the water to run with. The grinders could work because they had a steam engine installed simply for that job. The only people who couldn't work were the scythe fitters, who had to bore the backs by water wheel, and of course there was no water so they couldn't work. They were very well placed here at W. Torrickson's and Turner by having a forge here, a forge at Smithywood, and a forge at Little London on the same stretch of water. So in summertime when the water was very low, the forgeman, any scythe forgeman, would come to work here about 4 o'clock in the morning, run the dam down and run it dry, walk down to Smithywood and catch the same water used here. And in the afternoon do the same thing again at Little London, catch the same water ran off at Smithywood. So he could work